It's 12 noon at the time of recording on the 14th of July. Joey on the Caribbean Weather Dude. I am your guy. Please hit like, share, and subscribe. There it is. This is bad news.
My God. Falling out right now.
Anything could happen.
This is light. Wow.
I'll watch the video later. Ain't dry mopping this. Okay, severe thunderstorm watches were issued a couple hours ago in southern British Columbia. We got lots of rainfall that's been in the Caribou, headed down there. Big time thunderstorm last night in Prince George. Woke people up at 4 in the morning. That energy is making its way on down south. Rainfall is widespread down there and around. Still pretty warm down some places, though. We'll look at all the maps and details. And Tuesday seems to be a bit of a day off weather-wise, but we get right back into it Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, into a tumultuous weather pattern that we are stuck in. Still raining. Still raining, everybody. It's been raining a lot here. Well, it's not raining here right now. It's actually, there's some sunshine. I can't believe it. Maybe there's sunshine tomorrow. I'll go climb some mountain or something like that and get out of the house and do something. Man, it's been the summer of no summer up here in the Caribou Mountains, I'll tell you that much. Okay, let's get on with some details. Our main thunderstorm threat seems to be South Caribou and south. That area around Kamloops, you're in the D zone. You might see some stronger chance of thunderstorm around there, right? The big threat, the moderate threat for severe, really is in this sea area down around the Kootenays and Cranbrook. 70 to 90 kilometer hour gusts of wind, 2 to 3 centimeter hail, so large hail, and 20 to 30 mils in the rain downburst. So some heavy rains coming your way. That's one of the main threats today, is the heavy rains. Although in that sea area, you do have some strong winds potentially involved in there. Thunderstorm risk continues in the Yukon. It's like the daily thing up there now, lightning in the Yukon. I don't think it was ever that way 10 years ago to see so much lightning up there, and people have told me that is the case. I've been watching lightning maps for a long time, and I've seen the last bunch of years the Northwest Territories and the Yukon become more and more a target for thunderstorm behavior. On the bad news battle board today, what's this new red we got right here? New red, wind warning. We got a couple wind warnings down there. Strong 70 to 90 kilometer hour gusts could be developing in the afternoon there. So your shelters and tents and things like that could get blown away later in the day. Severe thunderstorm threat is down there. The watch includes areas such as Nakusp, the Arrow Lakes, maybe over to Christian Valley, Castlegar, Trail, Creston. I think the strongest threat will be in the Kimberley, Cranbrook, Fernie area, places like that. Over on the Alberta side, we got this rainfall warning. That rainfall is moving its way on down south and going to spill into the Alberta side. There's a big low pressure system that was been developing in Montana, and that's what's pulling weather down from the north. And as that low moves out, you will see a change in direction of our wind and things like that, and the movement of our weather. 50 to 80 millimeters expected there in Calgary, Pincher Creek. That will end Tuesday morning. Localized flooding in low-lying areas is possible. Can't rule out flash floods and things like that. And air quality statements are the story still from fire activity. I hope later today I'll spend some time and look at some maps and get a better picture on fire activity, what's going on. If you head over to Ontario, in the yellows is severe thunderstorm watches, air quality warnings as well. Lots of air quality warnings. There's a severe thunderstorm right now up by Moosonee, Gallatin, Tidewater Park with Toonie-sized hail in there. So some of that activity is going on currently right now. Dangerous thunderstorms up there. Also down in the Quebec border, a brand new warning has just gone up there for Temiskaming and Bellemere, and that will go over to the Quebec side. So just a little hint at what's going on in southern Ontario. This whole section is heat warning, and we got some severe thunderstorm watches also in Quebec and New Brunswick, and heat warnings carrying on over to the Nova Scotia side, where they could be seeing 33 degrees there inland throughout the next number of days. We will come back to BC severe storms. Severe storms went through Alberta yesterday, dropped some major hail, just missed the Stampede, golf ball size hail in North Calgary. Some of that weather went on down towards Brandon Houck, where he caught this in Brooks, Alberta.
Woo! There it is. Beautiful storm. Just the west-southwest of Brooks. Plenty of lightning in here. Right behind the severe ward cell. Just to the north of there. Wow, this thing is gorgeous.
Strong winds are reported south of the Cypress Hills, 115 km/h gusts. Claresholm had 115 gusts. Milk River 96. Calgary International Airport had 93 km/h gusts. Pincher Creek 80. Lethbridge 78. That's all the details we have so far there. New temperature records set on July 13th in BC. Nelson saw 36.8, 39.1 in Penticton area. Brand new record there. The old record was set in 1930. Same with the one in Summerland, 38.3. This is wild stuff, folks. 39 in Trail area. The old one was set in 2021. Some record temperatures also set in Newfoundland, Quebec, seeing heavy rainfall, 80 to 110 millimeters in areas of Quebec that saw some flash flooding, dangerous thunderstorms, particularly in Laurentians, Montérégie, and Montreal, where power outages were reported there. In St. Martin and Montérégie, damaged trees and hydro poles were also seen, also at Saint Isidore de la Prairie. Okay, back to British Columbia. Thunderstorm threat, not much of a thunderstorm threat in Alberta today. The main threat for you is rainfall. So BC is what we're looking at. Tuesday, we take a day off. We're back into it Wednesday, Thursday, Friday in the province. I will have a forecast tomorrow, I think, on that. So now we're looking at helicity for today. You can see helicity values in southern, eastern British Columbia. Helicity measures how much spin is there in the convection. That does give us a little hint about the strength of thunderstorms. It's not out of the question we get a supercellular thunderstorm down there in the afternoon today. When we look at surface-based convective available potential energy today, we see it begin to spike somewhere between the 1,000 and maybe 1,500 joules per kilogram, possibly a little higher in southern British Columbia today. A little bit more energy in the Caribou and Prince George than we expect. Looking out my window, there's definitely a lot of tall, puffy clouds. I don't know if the heat is there or not, but if any kind of warmth can break in, maybe we could have a thunderstorm in the region that's not forecast necessarily today. A better threat on Tuesday seems to be in the north, into the Northwest Territories and northern British Columbia, and that begins to move its way on down on Wednesday. Prince George, Peace, Northwest Territories, Caribou, North Thompson, even a little bit reaching into southern British Columbia. That convective available potential energy. How much energy is there for the weather to take off? Spin, the clouds to grow tall rapidly, thunderstorm-wise. Big time in the Northwest Territories on Friday. Southeastern BC being the target, but then we're going to come into possibly some severe thunderstorms, according to the Canadian model, on Saturday. Widespread, strong surface-based cape, up over 2,000 joules per kilogram. In fact, there's enough helicity and surface-based cape and moisture moving on in that southeast corner of British Columbia actually has a 1% or greater chance of seeing a tornado today, a nadocast. Largely, the best chance today of tornado might be in Florida. Some other spikes in the plains. Nothing crazy expected. Don't get carried away and be like, Joey said there's a chance of tornado. Yeah, well, 1% chance is very, very low chance. And if we look at the HRDPS Canadian model, you can see cooler temperatures in Alberta today, and these are reported temperatures here, 20 Celsius up in the Rockies, but even as low as 6 Celsius in Nordegg reported. Hinton reported 15 minutes ago, 8 Celsius, so chilly temperatures. Is it possible a little bit of snowfall could fall on top of the tallest mountains? Well, absolutely. That's absolutely the case. More warmth in Vancouver area today than much of central BC. Southern BC, fairly warm, still seeing 27 at Penticton Airport, 30 right now reported at Castlegar, 23 reported 15 minutes ago at the time of this recording in Cranbrook. So as we're in the lunch hour right now, some of the warmer temperatures in the Caribou are still only 16, 18, 17, 19, 18. Not a very, very warm day, a little bit warmer probably in some of these areas along coastal BC today, much warmer in Fort Nelson, the Northwest Territories, than we are here in the Caribou right now. Look at that, all the way up to the Arctic Ocean. Warmth up there, hitting nearly 20 in Inuvik. We've already been seeing lightning in the Coast Mountains this morning. You can see the energy that's moving on down south. We've had a lot of rainfall happening in southern British Columbia already today. That is some of the same moisture plumes that will be making their way to southeastern BC. I don't think plumes was the right word, but I just got stumped for a second as I'm talking. Some of the strong storms we're looking at this afternoon in Kootenay Lake area, Cranbrook, especially more towards Fernie later in the afternoon. We see where our rainfall is happening in southern British Columbia right now on weather radar, and it very much matches for where that rain should be right now, where our energy and moisture is coming to hit into these warmer areas that could fire them up into strong thunderstorms. You can see by the afternoon, areas around Invermere, in that Columbia Valley, probably seeing strong thunderstorm activity reaching over into the Kootenay Lake area. You can see that convective available potential energy. South of there is where these storms want to go. You can see why the South Caribou still may get some stronger thunderstorm activity later in the day still yet, so they may not be out of the picture completely. Go back to rain and thunder. Look at how this moisture moves south this afternoon. That's what's bringing your rainfall warnings into Alberta, is all this moisture that's going to linger around there. Watch those storms move on down through Cranbrook, through Fernie. Maybe the Alberta side seeing some lightning a little bit in the afternoon. Rainfall in behind, so Kamloops area, Lillooet, less and less in the thunderstorm risk. Stronger winds, though, possible coming on down. Could see stronger winds in the Caribou today, even. Keep your head up for that, although no wind warnings have been issued, I don't believe, for the Caribou. A little bit of threat of lightning around Quesnel Lake and whatnot, but again, mostly rain. Could be some thunderstorms that pop up embedded in these rain bombs that are going off and around. Little rain clouds, summertime rainfall. Where the thunderstorm threat really is, again, is that southeastern corner of British Columbia. When that line makes its way on south, if it can develop, and when it develops and it makes its way on down south, when the front of it trailing in behind will be the heavy rain. And we'll have a quick look on modeling about how much rain we're looking at in a minute. But there you go. Again, you can see the general direction of the thunderstorms moving on through. You can see where most of that thunderstorm activity is right along the border, if it's happening at all, moving down in the United States. And mostly it's just the rain story as we get into the nightfall that will be the case for us here. And that rain lingers around and works its way out Tuesday. Thunderstorm threat is up in northern BC. Thunderstorm threat is in the Northwest Territories. And then on Wednesday, we begin to see our thunderstorm activity picking up as the low settles itself somewhere south of Williams Lake or 100 Mile House. That low begins to pick up, and we are going to see a brand new round of thunderstorms increasing in strength as we get into the week. So Caribou, Prince George, Peace, whatnot. On Wednesday, the greatest threat. We do have lightning going on north of Clearwater right now and some in the Coast Mountains. We see some cells that look suspicious beginning to develop in the Kootenays. The triggers are all there, and now I think in the next 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hours, we're going to see what comes of all this. Okay, next forecast will be about the thunderstorm threat coming later in the week, starting Wednesday, so please tune into that. Hit like, share, subscribe, hit the thanks button, keep the channel alive. I've been really struggling to keep my head above water, but a lot of people are helping me stay there, and I can't thank you all enough. People like Judy, can't thank you enough. Okay, we'll talk to you next time. Bye now.